Good morning and welcome to Soul Brunch. We're going to be waiting about 5 minutes to allow everyone in. Hello, Catherine. Hi, Diana. Happy New Year. Hi, Linda. Happy New Year. If in the meantime you want to let us know where you're from, it's always great to know which part of the world is present. Couple more minutes. Charlotte from France. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Georgina from the UK. Nicole from Northern California. Hi. Julie from Georgia. Hi. Hello, Sammy. Evie from Belgium. Diana from Massachusetts. Sammy from California. Jonah from Connecticut. Hi. Imelda from Vancouver. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. One more minute and we'll begin. Mary, hi. Yeah, I miss you too, guys. Minnesota snowy whites, I'm guessing, Aman. Hi, Mala, nice to see you. So it's been about 5 minutes. I say it's time to begin. How is everyone doing? How are you guys? Nice to see you, Lisa. How are you? Very cool. Just 15 minutes. That's really cool to see you. Happy 2023, everyone. How is everyone feeling? It's great to be back live here. I am streaming both in here on Inside Timer and on YouTube. So it's great to be back in this 2023. And as promised, we are going to talk about manifestation as it is the beginning of the year. And a lot of people have some purposes, right? What is the main purpose of your 2023? What have you promised to yourself? If you want, you can write it here in the comment. We can chat about it for a few minutes just to see in general what the average desires are for you guys. And then we are going to go through a journey, and I'm going to explain a little bit about what makes it stop. Because do you know that all the great purposes that we want to figure out in a new year, usually they fizzle away by the end of February. Usually is all you're only able to keep going for only a couple of months. And the question is why? And that's what we're going to talk about. So Diana says wants to be present in the now. Lisa wants to let the lion out. That sounds like a very good purpose for 2023. What is yours? What is your desire? And the question that I have is this the first time you have this desire? Or have you had it before, like maybe every year, and you have found it very hard to keep it going? What was your resolution that you couldn't keep? Mala says acceptance, letting go, forward movements. Very cool. Linda, to shine. First time for you, Diana. Very cool. Be present in the now. It's a very powerful one for sure. So, Amelda says, love myself. This is finally the first time I want to love myself. Very cool. Very, very cool. So, one of the biggest problems we've got also with our purpose is that we forget about it. Is like, particularly, let's take loving yourself for example, like Amelda is saying, hi, Monique, nice to see you. You try to love yourself and then you do things that you usually do. And then you forget that you want to love yourself. You maybe remember sometimes, but it's usually hard to get it while you're not loving yourself. So then we sort of get back into life and we forget what the good purpose was, wasn't it? Catherine wants to become organized and productive. Very cool. So what stops you getting energized and productive? That's another question, right? So what stops you usually from achieving these good purposes? These new beginnings. Why do we stop? Why do we have these blocks that don't allow us to improving into your monkey mind? Yes. The monkey mind, possibly. Or maybe something deeper. Evie says sleep. You want to sleep this year? I hear you. Lack of self-belief, for example. Yes, lack of self-belief can be a really big one. Now, the question is, let's say you want to start your purpose. How does it feel? Old patterns, exactly. So how does it feel? You will find that a lot of the times, if you're trying to begin something that you've never done before, you feel a sense of overwhelm and a sense of anxiety. And so what you do, we stop and we try to avoid and never really start. Am I wrong? Who feels that way? Hi, Peace. Nice to see you. So yes, lack of self-belief for Nicole as well. Fear, Jonah, exactly. So fear is one of the biggest problems that we've got when we want to start something new, when you want to manifest something new. Because even if we want it, we're afraid, because a lot of the times the things that we desire are going to change our lives. And we don't know what happens once life changes, don't we? We hope it would be for the better, but we don't know, isn't it? It is the unknown. Mary says accessibility. Very interesting. If you want to let us know more about it. So yes, fear is one of the biggest problems, and that is what I want to talk about today. So I want to talk about fear and that sense of anxiety that comes when we want to do something new. That feeling of overwhelm, like Linda says, absolutely. And I'm going to talk to you about it briefly, and then we're going to go straight into a meditation. And this meditation is a mix between guided, so with my voice, and sung. So there are about 6 songs that we wrote all together here during lives that are very well connected together. And this is a new one you haven't never done before. And so I'm really excited to do it. Okay, let's talk about fear, overwhelm, and this problem with the unknown, and this problem with the status quo, and the fact that I'm not sure if it's the monkey mind, but I think it's slightly deeper part of us that deals with our safety, that doesn't like that change, doesn't like that unknown, and so we have this fear, this sense of paralysis. Some people deal with fear in a positive way, so like it makes them go against and go forward. For some people it makes you paralyzed, analysis paralysis, like Nicole says, exactly. And that is the fear that I want to talk about. Now let's talk about what anxiety is and what this fear is first. Letting go of what we know. Yes, Diana, exactly. Letting go of what we know and aim to improve. I think that is the best thing we can do. There are 2 types of anxiety. There is clean anxiety and disorderly anxiety. Now, clean anxiety is a positive tool that we have because it keeps us safe. So if you're walking on the edge of a precipice, for example, we're pushed back, we get that feeling of anxiety, and because there is that fear, that danger, and so this feeling of discomfort comes to keep us safe. Also, anxiety can help us get on and get motivated for something we'd like to achieve. Like, for example, you have a test or you have an important meeting and you feel this anxiety that pushes you to prepare, right? So this is called clean anxiety, and it's a powerful tool, and it's something that we can use for our own benefit, particularly because this feeling of anxiety is created by the same neurotransmitters that give us the sense of excitement. So it is actually possible and fairly easy to transform that feeling of anxiety into a feeling of excitement that can push us forward into doing and achieving what we want. So we don't want to get rid of anxiety because it's that fear, because it's a very powerful tool. We just want to be able to use it. And so that is what we're going to be working on today. Disorderly anxiety, on the other hand, is when this tool becomes a ruler. So you get ruled by this anxiety, by this fear, and so you avoid doing what you want to do. And this creates a cycle. It's called the anxiety cycle. And it's a vicious cycle that is not very good. What happens is we are afraid of something, we avoid, and this avoidance gives us a sense of relief. So our brain gives us a sensation of, oh, wow, we survived. We didn't do it. We were right, because the result is we survived. And this then makes our brain, when we go back to that situation later, give us even more anxiety, because we want to get that sense of relief after. And the more we avoid, the stronger the anxiety gets, and then it gets you to a point where you don't even go out anymore, or you get completely paralyzed. I don't know if any of you have this sort of experiences. So the problem is we cannot avoid, because this loop is fed by avoidance. Evie says, yes, you have that experience. Yeah, me too. I think a lot of us do, some in a more disorderly way, some in a more clean, but it is something very, very natural, and it is written within our DNA, I would say. So the first thing we need to do is to accept the fact that anxiety is there, and that is a tool. Something we can use, is something we can learn to use. If we got to a point where we are into sort of like that disorderly side of anxiety, then we need to learn how to face it. And it's not easy, it's not fun, but it's possible. And this particular journey is going to give you some tools to be able to work on this anxiety. And also, I have worked on a 6 parts video on that will expand on what we're going to do during the meditation, and we'll expand on what I'm explaining now, so that you can use it to practice. Because basically what it is like a gym, isn't it? We have these emotional muscles inside our brain, and we need to train them. We need to become resilient. And to do that, we need to put ourselves in the situation that gives us the fear. And of course, it's much easier to do it in our mind first before we go into the world. And we always need to do it, of course, in a safe environment. This is another important thing. We need to be able to realize if something is safe or not. Usually this disorderly anxiety happens when something safe gives us a perception of being unsafe. For example, if you're afraid of sharks and that gives you anxiety, and you feel it's not safe to go into the water, into the sea, and if you know statistically, if you're in Australia and some places where there is a lot of sharks, maybe it's different and it's not safe. But if you're, in the Mediterranean or in places where it's very, very rare, it never happened, maybe happened once in 100 years, then it's safe. And yet your brain doesn't allow you to do that. So there is a way. We need to figure out the safety first, and we can ask for help for that. Ask some friends, ask your partners, maybe go to a therapist to try to figure out if is it actually safe. And if it is, then we need to reframe that thinking process that makes us feel that we are not. Any questions? Anything you would like to know about this? So I say we have a 45 intense minutes meditation to go through, and after that we will discuss more. If you guys have any questions or anything, do let me know. If not, we are going to begin right away. So I say we begin. If you can find a place, reframe this thinking process. How, please? Yes, the way to reframe it. And it's not easy to do it on your own, because a lot of the time we are stuck in those patterns, like you said before. And that's why it's important to ask for help, and do not have this idea that we need to do things alone. The best sports people, they have lots of coaches, not even just one, like they have lots of people. So asking people about your thought process, someone you trust, of course, or even like a therapist, to figure out if that thought is right or needs work. I give you an example on how to reframe that process, and there will be a video on just this part. Basically, you go from, let's say you're afraid of dogs, and you have this thought that is, dogs are going to kill me. And then we cannot get rid of that thought. This is really important. Our brain does not allow us to leave holes, doesn't like holes at all. So we need to find a way to substitute everything we want to get rid of. That is why it's so much better to just work on what we want to improve and what we want to achieve rather than getting rid of stuff. Our brain doesn't work that way. So in that case, if that is the underlying thought process that is giving us anxiety and doesn't allow us, to be around dogs and like friends or family that have dogs and things like that, then a good thought to reframe it would be most dogs are safe, which is a truism, because not all dogs are safe. There are some that are not, but most dogs are safe. While the thinking process that you go through is all dogs are going to kill me. So you find a positive thought that can transform the bad one. I don't know if that makes sense. And of course, everyone have different thoughts, and sometimes it's hard to get to know what the better thought would be, and that is why it's really important to ask someone who is a little bit detached from the problem and can maybe think more clearly in that direction. Which that doesn't mean that you don't think clearly, is that maybe on that particular subject you find it hard to find a way to positively reframe that thought. Does that answer your question? Does that make sense? And of course, that first thought that gets you stuck is there continuously, and it comes up on its own. So we need to be able to see it when it comes, and we need to be able to reframe it. And we cannot do that. It's very rare, unless you have a really, really powerful mind already. It's really rare that you can reframe that thought while you're full of the emotions, while you're full of those anxieties. And so it's something to do when you are before or after, way after. It does make sense, challenging the fear type of things. Yes, very good. So many dogs are scared too. Help to think of them. Exactly. Yes, that would help too. So this is, of course, I'm just giving you some examples that are easier to understand, but this, of course, applies to the manifestation, the what you want to manifest. If there is a part of you that is stopping you from achieving what you want, ask yourself, what is the fear behind it? What happens if I succeed? That is a really good question that people sometimes forget to ask themselves. What happens if you achieve? What happens if you achieve? What's the answer to that? Because it's important, There is a big problem with the fear of achievement, isn't it? What are you afraid if that achievement happens? What are you afraid? What could go wrong? What is giving you that fear that doesn't allow you to keep steady and consistent? These are important questions, and if you get some answers, what I would say is, if you had an answer right now, write it down. Write it down anywhere, on a piece of paper, on a notepad, anywhere. And then put it in the comment section afterwards, after the meditation, if you want to. Thank you for all the gratitude, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, now it's time to go into our journey. If you have a place where you can close your eyes, that would be the best. If not, you can still do this with your eyes open and while doing other stuff, if that's what you're doing. But of course, it is better to do this with your eyes closed. If you're driving or doing something that requires 100% of your attention, I would say don't close your eyes. It's never a good idea. Okay, so let me just change this because I want to show you the lyrics. So if you're doing this with your eyes open, what you can do is follow the lyrics with me. That's why they're there. And just as a reminder, because I think you guys know, these lyrics were written together with you guys. So they have all the experience in them that came from a whole load of people. There were more than 30,000 people that worked on this. And so they're very, very full of meaning. And the reason why I use them is that these meanings, they unfold inside your mind while you do this visualization. So now get comfortable, take a deep breath, breathe in deeply, as deep as you can, and breathe out. Slowly, slower than you usually do. For a second time, breathe in deeply. And then slowly breathe out. Close your eyes if you haven't done it yet. And allow the breathing out to send a wave of relaxation throughout your whole body. Breathe in deeply. And as you breathe out, slower than you usually do, allow the breathing to send you as if you were going far away, in a deep and distant place. And we get into a feeling of dreaminess, as if you were about to fall asleep. But instead of falling asleep, you can place your mind inside your hands and aim to find a sensation of tingling, fullness and warmth inside your hands. Concentrate deeply inside the hands. The tingling comes from the pain receptors, the fullness from the pressure sensors, the warmth from the temperature sensors. Go deep inside the hands, release all the muscles there. You can even start from a finger if you find it hard, and then spread around the hands. Then go through the arms, all the way up to the shoulders. Aim to find the sensation of tingling, fullness and warmth, and as you do, all the muscles relax and release. Then you sink inside a deeper state of mind. These sensations of tingling, fullness and warmth are mainly used by your unconscious mind to regulate your temperature, to know where you are in the world, and to give you signals of pain if things don't work. What we are doing now, by sinking inside these feelings and moving them around our arms, we're learning to use a deeper part. So you can now go inside your feet and aim to find the sensation of tingling, fullness and warmth inside your feet. It's a little bit harder because feet are farther away. And you go up the ankles, lower legs, upper legs, into the hips. And now both your arms and feet feels as if they were asleep. Take the tingling and put it in the background and focus on the fullness and the warmth. Makes you feel as if your extremities were immersed in a thick warm liquid or cloud. Bring that feeling around your head, down your neck, and inside the chest, back, lower back, abdomen, and back into the base center. And from here, feel your whole body feeling as if it was asleep while your mind is sharp and awake. Now is the best time for us to start visualizing. So you imagine you are in a big room. It's decorated with gold. And inside this room, there is a throne. By the throne is a minister. This is the prime minister of your own world. And by him or her, there is the minister of safety. See them, allow your mind to give you the shape and form. Now they open a portal, and together with them you walk through and find yourself on the beach by the sea. And here you meet a character, the companion. And the companion will bring you through this sea and starts to explain that those feelings of anxiety and fear are normal, are there to keep you safe. But that by going through this sea, you can transform that feeling from fear to excitement. Now think about something that scares you and that stops you from achieving what you want to achieve. Break it down. Imagine it's all in very small pieces. Find the easiest piece. It's a much smaller piece, isn't it? Allow yourself to understand this little part of that fear. Something much easier to deal with than the whole big anxiety or fear. Find that little piece. Another one piece at a time, one step at a time, by understanding that this feeling is good for you, as long as you can control it. You hear the companion beginning to sing. As I look through the rearview mirror, leaving regrets behind. Time's gift is distance, wounds leaving scars to remind. Dancing through life, grow where your feet are. Finding my voice, I cry and move on. Looking for a moment when I'll have the courage to shine. Will freedom come my way, I count the time. The only way out is through, step by step, breath by breath, I'll find a way to move. The only way out is through, moment after moment. Love myself for who I am, so that others shall too. love myself for who I am, so that others shall too. As I come to terms with what happened, laying the grounds to explore, I foster my powers to fix what was broken before. Trusting fate has in store a million possibilities, opening new doors, never look back. Only way out is through, step by step, breath by breath. I'll find a way to move. Only way out is through, moment after moment. I love myself for who I am, so that others shall too. Mending the pieces, mending the pieces, mending the pieces, mending the pieces. Only way out is through, step by step, breath by breath. I'll find a way to move. The only way out is through, moment after moment. I love myself for who I am, so that others shall too. Love myself for who I am, so that others shall too. You finally arrive at the other side of the sea. You say goodbye to the companion, and there you meet the storyteller. And the storyteller is about to tell you the most important story. And as you walk through the path that is leading you through these beautiful golden crops, the storyteller tells you and your ministers that it's time to find something strong enough to give you a reason, a why, to go through these fears, to face them. All the what ifs, what if I fail, what if this doesn't work out, could change and be reframed into what if this could change my life? What if you achieve this? Give yourself that reason, find that reason now. Allow your mind to give you this now. Allow this song to bring this strong reason so that you can start facing those fears that stop you from achieving. From achieving the resolutions that you desire. What if I fail and this doesn't work out? What if it doesn't come true and there's no going back? What if I make a fool of myself? My house of cards tumbles down and my body and mind don't follow. Will it be a hard pill to swallow? What if I could change course By being the red rose in the white rose garden, what if could change course? By being the judge and deliver my pardon, what if this changes my life forever? What if I could let it go? What if I could let it be as it needs to be, and let it flow fast or slow till it shows its true purpose. What if I start? What if I leave? What if I succeed? I have to go on and on and on. What if tomorrow never comes? What if this is my last chance? What if it's all in my head, swirling around and round and round? What if I could cut the cord? Can I breathe to look inside all of my mirrors? What if I could cut loose, embrace the reflections and become the seer? What if this changes my life forever? What if I could let it go? What if I could let it be as it needs to be, and let it fly, laugh or cry, waiting its size, its new purpose. What if I can be my whole self and embrace my whole truth? What if I can make it and stand here as proof? What if I drop the what if at the end and understand there's always been more than enough? Have I always been more than enough? That I've always been more than enough? Have I always been more than enough? You say goodbye to the storyteller. You thank this archetype for having given you this beautiful reframing. And now you find a new character, a new archetype, the child divine. And the child divine reminds you and your ministers that nothing is perfect. You can look around you in this world and find that nothing is perfectly symmetrical. Nothing is truly still. With a warm voice, the child divine tells you, do you know that if the universe was perfect, it wouldn't exist? And that's true. The universe was born because of this imperfection. So instead of trying to be perfect, change this idea into an improvement mindset. Aim to learn from your experience instead of being afraid of your mistakes. See those mistakes as something positive to grow from, to become better, knowing that it will never be perfect. And that's okay. It's exciting. Feel that excitement of being on a path of improvement. Teacher, what do you expect of me? Do you assume I should understand and accept every breath you breathe? Mother, I'm only human. What must I do to make you happy other than perfect? It took me so long to stop spreading blame. I am now taking the reins of my life. I'm ready to claim every mistake. It's my chance to grow. A stepping stone, vital to achieving every goal. So I embrace them with all my heart. 'Cause I never lose, either I win or I learn. I never lose, either I win or I learn. Father, what are these rules you impose? I'm trying, but no matter what I do, it's not quite enough for you. Brother, please understand me. Forgive me if I can't always be the role model that you need. It took me so long to pick myself up. I am now making the shape of my life and prove to me that every mistake is my chance to grow. A stepping stone, vital to achieving every goal. So I embrace them with all my heart. 'Cause I never lose, either I win or I learn. I never lose, either I win or I learn. I'm ready to go the distance, ready to run the extra mile. I'm willing to do, preach and preach, but I never do. To dream as big as I can dream. 10,000 hours of blood, sweat and tears, a tumble and fall and then back up. 'Cause I never lose, either I win or I learn. God, why so serious? If you didn't want me to sin, what made it so sweet to win? Every mistake is my chance to grow. A stepping stone, vital to achieving every goal. And so I embrace them with all my all, 'cause I never lose, either I win or I learn. I never lose, either I win or I learn. I never lose, either I win or I learn. So now you say goodbye to the child divine and meet the mediator. And the mediator is here to negotiate. To negotiate with the minister of safety. And the mediator starts to tell you that things can be hard. It's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. It's okay to not feel okay. And that voice in your head that doesn't want you to grow, doesn't want you to change, that is there to protect you, can be mediated. You are the proof that miracles can happen. You had 1 in a trillion chances of being here. It's like winning the lottery 1,000 times. And yet you don't believe in yourself. So tell this voice that you are a lot more than your mistakes. That you can achieve what you want. And you feel brave and excited. Voice in my head that doesn't believe I can make it, that make me think that I'll fake it every time. The voice in my head that makes me doubt that I'm worth it, implying that I should forfeit every time. Finding confidence each time is draining. Tomorrow me needs today me gain. And who is the me who speaks these words? Who is the me who listens without giving in, taking back what we hold within, and discover that I'm more than my mind, I'm more than my body. When that washes over, it's time to swim or sink. I'm not my thoughts, I am not my knots, I'm not my beliefs. More than just me, more than just me, more than just me. Voice in my head says everyone else here knows better what they are doing, why bother, compare and despair. But who are they being, or what am I seeing, what am I believing, who do I trust? If my faults could bring inspiration instead of immobilization, today I'll do things a different way. I'll say no thank you, not today. Is it like thought or sin to to aim to live without and within, and discover that I'm more than my mind, I'm more than my body. When doubt washes over, it's time to swim or sink. I'm not my thoughts, I am not my knots, I'm not my beliefs. I'm more than just me, more than just me, more than just me. What if I shake it? What if I make it by being who I truly am, being who I truly am? What if I shake it? What if I make it by being who I truly am, being who I am? 'Cause I'm more than my mind, I'm more than my body. When doubt washes over, it's time to swim or sink. I'm not my thoughts, I am not my knots, I'm not my beliefs. More than just me, more than just me, more than just me, more than just me. And now you take the ministers by the hands, you say goodbye to the mediator, and thank the archetype for making you feel strong and finally believe in yourself. And you are now in a cave, around a cave, just at the entrance. You see inside there is a lot of metal in there. That metal represents the sphere. And you see inside the cave there is an engineer. And this engineer is starting a fire. So now take that fear and allow it to come all the way through your body. Stay with that fear. And let that fire become a storm inside that cave. And let the storm and the fire melt that metal. And let that metal flow out. And as it does, you start to feel lighter. Let the fire burn. Stay with that fear. Wind is still and calm. There's no sign a storm is on the horizon. It just takes a word to trigger a cloud. And all unwanted thoughts bubbling dry and hot below the surface. Feelings start to spill from the abyss. Gotta know the way to go. The way takes a single spark to ignite the dark. Get ready to face a firestorm. It's too late to tame it. Fireworks seeming breaking firestorm. Wait till it passes. fireworks rise from the ashes, calm will return, and the skin will have healed from the burn. We'll be one step closer to be free from fear, from fear, from fear. Oh, prisons face to face, tears go like the surface of the mirror. Prisons made of gold, fuel and delusions, and a never choice. Our decisions cast with the factors, hike uncharted paths to conquer illusions. God, I know the way to go the way. It takes a single quake to ignite the spark. Get ready to face a firestorm. It's too late to tame it. Fireworks, simmering, breaking firestorm. Wait till it passes. Fireworks rise from the ashes, calm will return, and the skin will have healed from the burn. We'll be one step closer to be free from fear of judgment, from fear of falsehood, of failure and gain, from fear of denial, of criticism, of suffering and pain. And the calm will return, and the heart will have healed from the burn. We'll be one step closer to be free. So now that that metal is all gone, you say goodbye to the engineer and finally arrive at a beautiful forest, and here you meet a fool. And the fool is here to reveal your emotions and to help you laugh about the absurdity of some of these fears. And you feel this need to be brave. And the fool tells you that, hey, people think I'm a fool and they don't want to listen to me. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, because only a fool knows the truth, really. And the truth is that if you trust in the process, you see it, you feel it, you believe it, and then you take action. You go forth and conquer. You can achieve anything. So let that molten metal to flow away. Take this feeling of excitement that you've got and remember it. Let that fear become this feeling of excitement. Let it fill you completely. Let it go through all that tingling fullness and warmth that is through your body. And always trust that the process will make it come true. Making dreams come true. What do you want to create? What do you wish for? Make room to reflect. Connect with your future self. Choose to be happy. Trust in the process. See it, feel it, believe it. Go forth and conquer. Trust in the process. See it, feel it, believe it. Go forth and conquer. Go forth and conquer. Every single step, one small win, one at a time, we'll celebrate it. Not afraid to fall, ride in the wave of your life. Be your own hero. Be your own hero. Trust in the process. See it, feel it, believe it. Go forth and conquer. Trust in the process. See it, feel it, believe it. Go forth and conquer. Take a leap of faith. Don't feel alone, we'll hear the ground is our crown. The ground is our crown. It's never too late. Just flow, be free, trust yourself. Go on your throne. Go on your throne. Trust in the process. Be your own hero. 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 Take a leap of faith. It's never too late. Go on your throne. Go on your throne. So now you say goodbye to the companion, the child divine, the mediator, the engineer, and the fool. And to your ministers, you can see that the Minister of Safety has relaxed now, has flourished. You feel brave. And you know that now that you can transform that feeling of fear into excitement. And it is a path. You're not expected to have it done, but you now know. And you know that with consistency and practice, you will face your fears. And you will progress forward, one little step at a time. And now it's time to come back to the here and the now. So I'm going to count to 10. When I get to 10, you can open your eyes and you'll be back here in the now, feeling ready and motivated and inspired. 1, 2, 3, you're coming back. 4, 5, 6, you feel your hands, shoulders, back, legs. 7, 8, you open your eyes. 9, 10, you're back here in the now. welcome back. Thank you for the donations. Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Mala. Thank you so much, Jonna, as well. Thank you so much for the donations. Really appreciate it. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, it was a great journey. Thank you, Imelda. Thank you so much for the donation, guys. Really appreciate it. Now, these songs are available for you to use. And in the next days, I'm going to be publishing these 6 videos that will allow you and help you to work on each one of these single things that we worked on. And then I will also post this journey. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you so much. Because I wanted to practice it, do you feel excited? Do you feel excited? That's the first question. Because that is what this was for. Were you able to find that fear and turn it into excitement? That is what I want you to achieve with this. And I hope I helped a little bit. And if that worked, yes, very good, Diana. Very good. Thank you, Evie. Very good. Yes, absolutely. That's what I want to hear. Perfect. Brilliant and true. Thank you, Gosia. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much for the donations, everyone. Now there is, I wrote it there before, the recording of the songs and some quite interesting videos are also. Thank you, Annie. Nice to see you. Thank you for the donation. So the songs and quite a few videos and a lot of content is on the YouTube channel, which is at Soul Brunch TV. You should write composed songs for the movies. I would love to do that and tell you the story and you write for the story. That would be really cool. Well, if you know anyone who is doing a movie, let me know. But yes, these songs were all written together with you guys. And I am going to start, because we've done 12 songs, and now it's time to start the next 12, which are going to mix with the ones we've done in the past year and a half. Thank you, Diana. Very moving. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peace. Yes, my dad helped a lot with the strings. So let me talk to you about, first of all, thank you so much again for the support. If I would like to ask you for a little bit of help, because I have started this YouTube journey about 2 weeks ago, and it's really hard, and I need to get to 1,000 subscribers before I can actually do anything. So if you guys can help, just go on my channel, which is youtube.com/soulbrunchtv, and click the subscribe button. Because I need to get to 1,000, and I have a long way to go. So if you know anyone who can be helped with these songs and these sort of sessions, please do share it with them as well. That is actually a very good exercise to do. If you are serious in getting past your fears, and you are on a path of personal development and of getting rid of those insecurities, think a few people, like even just one friend, if you have someone that you feel connected with and that would be willing to do this work with you. And there is a really cool exercise in one of these 6 videos, and I think is really interesting. And the idea is you WhatsApp or chat or whatever you use, and every time you make a mistake, you share it with the other person, and they can do the same with you. And you can write what you've learned from that mistake. That would be a really cool thing to do. And if you have a group of people, even better. So try to build your own army of heroes that are trying to get better, Lovely to see you again. Still grateful for the times writing these through the crazy lockdowns in Melbourne, Australia. Of course, Annie, I do remember we did a whole session, I remember, on the fatigue, on the lockdown fatigue. It was very, very powerful. So next Saturday, we are going to completely switch the topic. We're going to be talking about grief. we have been writing what I call the canapé, like a small song of a verse and a chorus. And I think it was really powerful. There's also a very cool journey like this on the 5 phases of grief. But that particular song was made to turn grief into love. And what we're going to do next Saturday, we're going to take that song and we're going to be writing more. So if you have had some grief, or you are grieving, or you know someone who's grieving, next Saturday, same time as this, it's already on Inside Timer. If you guys want to click the button, it will be really cool. So we are starting that. And there is another thing I would like to ask you, because we are going to be, after that week, we are going to be starting with new topics. Yes, that's right. Soul Brunch TV, not my personal one. Yes, Soul Brunch TV. Thank you, Mala. Soul Brunch TV, that's the one. So what did I want to say? Yeah, so we're going to be starting with new topics. So what I would like you to do, if you feel like now, you can write. Thank you, Mala. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You can write here in the comment section a topic that you would like to work on. And it can be anything related to your growth, to your personal development. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a note of what you guys write. Actually, let me do this so you actually can see it. Inner child healing. Very cool. What I'm going to do, I'm going to post a poll on the YouTube channel. There is a place where I can post things, including polls. And I am going to post a few of these topics, and I'm going to ask you to just vote whatever you would like. And then the week after this, we will, the ones that are the most voted, the one that will be most voted, we will work on it and make a brand new song to start the year. Amelda want to do Inner Child as well. Very cool. So make sure you go and vote it when I post it. Actually, let me do that in a different way, shall I? Inner critic. Yes, that's really good as well. How about we call it criticism? Let me see if I can do something more clever. Okay. Traumas and working on them so they don't get in the way. Yes, trauma. So this is the website that you can see there, the Soul Brunch TV website. But I'm going to go on YouTube. And you can see it there. Actually, the live is right there. As you can see, I'm gonna go on my channel. So here is the YouTube channel. Under videos, you've got a lot of videos. You've got like the last one I did yesterday is the poetry of Khalil Gibran, the best 42 quotes, and it's really powerful. It has a piano piece composed based on his astrological chart. And you've got quite a few things. You got Misunderstandings Turn to War. You got Denzel Washington's top quotes. So if you liked my piano piece at the beginning, this is quite a lot of piano stuff. Lao Tzu is really good as well. There is a version of the Ocean Eyes song by Billie Eilish there is the application of the Feynman technique, a learning technique for your personal development. Jamie Foxx's top 27 quotes, reactions and actions. There's quite a lot of stuff there. I think you will like it. So here in the community, I can now post something, I believe. Can you see it? Yes. This one is YouTube. So youtube.com/soulbrunchtv. I am going to post it here. You're very welcome, Sammy. Okay, so let's create this text poll. So the first option was inner child healing. Criticism. Trauma. Let's see what else. Inner critic. Yes, healing the inner critic. Is this one. I'm going to do that. Healing the inner critic. Ah, you got it. Perfect. So trauma. What else? What else do you want to work? Have I missed something before? Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. So Evie's got the trauma, so you don't get in the way. And you beat ourselves up versus becoming kind. Yes, so beating yourself up. Toxic people. Very good. You've been calling yourself the idea woman. Many ideas, yes. Yes, indeed. It's quite exciting, isn't it? So we've got inner child healing, criticism, healing the inner critic, trauma, beating yourself up, toxic people, real self-care, self-love. Yeah, that's good. Relationships, that's a good one. We've done spiritual bypassing, I believe, didn't we? But we didn't do a song. So that would be quite good. I think this is the maximum amount that I can do. Yes. So these are the first 5. And so I'm going to do toxic people and relationships. Toxic people and relationships. Hi Lisa, compassion for toxicity. Yes, that can be very good for. So the way it's going to work is not this Saturday, the next one. We are going to be working on one of these topics. We're going to do a meditation using these wonderful archetype cards that we use during this particular journey by Carlin Miss. Post the poll link in the group circle. Yes, of course. Thank you, Peace. I will definitely do. So this is all on the YouTube channel. So what I'm going to write here is we are going to write a new Soul Brunch song. What topic would you like it to be on? Okay. Thumb up on the current live. Thank you. Thank you, Mala. Okay, so I'm going to post this. First post on the community thing here. There it is. So all you have to do is go on there and vote. Maybe if people miss today's session, they will see polling group and follow YouTube, so you can get 1,000 subscribers. That would be good. You're welcome, Mary. Here at 23 flower blossoms to fragrant each day forward. Yes, happy New Year. Happy New Year. Very good. I'm really excited about starting to write again, because we have about 3 songs that are already part of the second rush of songs that we are building here at Soul Brunch. One is about pain, one is about hope, and one is about happiness. So they are quite exciting, and I'm getting it back and work them. Polls and shorts seem to help get YouTube followers, and having consistent schedule from my friend who is up to 6,000. Very good. About 1.5 years. Yeah. No, short. I've done a course on how to grow YouTube, and the problem with shorts is that it has a very particular type of audience, me included. I really like shorts, but shorts, they are sort of like, you don't even have time to subscribe as you go through it. The longer videos. Thank you, Evie. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to post these 6 videos. You're gonna love them. Thank you, Evie. Thank you so much. She doesn't do shorts, yeah. Yeah, consistent schedule. That's absolutely right. I've been trying to post at 9 o'clock consistently, which is in about 3 minutes. So today is this live. This live is there, by the way. So if you want to go back and listen to me rumbling for an hour and a half, you can find it on YouTube. And there I can see Annie and Evie on YouTube as well. There you are. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, the thing is, consistency isn't that about everything. Consistency. It's a marathon. And I realized as I started it about 2 weeks ago. And I've been trying to do one a day. It's really hard. I've been about five a week. That's what I've been able to do. I'm gonna try to make 7. But it's being consistent is the game. It's a marathon game, and need to do that for 1 or 2 years to start getting results. And it's really interesting, and I think it really fits with the conversation today. When you want to start your own business or you want to do something, if you have one of these ideas, the problem is that we all have very short attention span. I find myself having very short attention span. And there's this whole idea of getting everything right away, have a headache, get a pill, try to get everything immediately. And unfortunately, when it comes to starting something, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. Because it's like you have to do almost all the work in advance without getting any results. It's really difficult. So even with YouTube, you have to post videos, only have 1 or 2 views for a long time. Yes, indeed, God, like hashtags, been working on the titles, the pictures, all that. Yes, indeed, all recorded. Yeah, exactly. As a teacher, you understand, doing a lot of work in advance. That's what it is. And sometimes it's really hard to get motivated. And that's why I really love these lives, because you guys motivate me to do more. And that's why what I was saying, build your pool of heroes, of people that want to grow together. Motivation is a great discussion topic. It really is. Patience is the practice. Absolutely. Patience and action with consistency. And he's growing a little bit at a time, It's what it is. Yeah, it's really hard. You do the work, yes. Indeed. Pool of heroes. Yes. Difficult to find that pool of heroes. It's true. It is difficult, and it's so important to have a group of people, because like many of you might know, if you've been here a while, that I follow a spiritual path in that uses Tai Chi as the way to grow. And it's been explained so many times, like it's so important. It's so important to have a group. And because the group of heroes, that pool of heroes, are the ones that carry you, that you're gonna show up because someone else is gonna be there, and you're gonna do the work together, and you're gonna push each other. And in a way, it's sort of like that really healthy competition, because a lot of people like shun competition nowadays, but it's so powerful to have, like, if she's going, I'm gonna go too. It's quite powerful. It really creates a field that allows you to grow much quicker and to find that consistency. Melda, I have a group of all ladies determined on self-growth. Perhaps I can post your channel there and we'll see how. That's fantastic. Yes, if I can be sort of like a facilitator for you guys to create this worldwide group, and the thing is, we a lot of the times we forget about our personal growth and our personal development. As I said before, life gets in the way, and then we forget. And the beauty of these songs is that music allows you to remember. If you listen to it enough time, it just pops in your head automatically. And so you're creating something in your brain that allows you to remember, even just for a second, to close your eyes, to get your presence. And so, yeah, I think that's really, really powerful. My inner pool of heroes has a lot of my family that has passed on, my brother, uncle, aunt, grandparents, cousin, and friends. Absolutely. It's a really powerful family. Family is so important. If you need to work on yourself and you're really serious about it, focus on your family. Focus on your parents, focus on your kids and your long-term partners and long-term friends, because those are the people that have been with you long enough and know you long enough to have created a connection in a much deeper and strong way than with any other. So concentrate on your family. No matter how hard the relationship is, there's a good trick. Because when I was with the Tai Chi teacher, he was asked, how do you work with your mother, for example, if you have a really bad relationship, if they have been nasty to you, what is the point, right? How do you work on that? And he said something really interesting. He said, you're not working. When you are connected with these people, you're not working with their external manifestation, which is the physical body together with all the ego and emotions and behaviors that have to do with dealing with the external life. You're dealing with their inner selves, with a part of them that is separate. Is like the driver of the biological machine, in a way. And a lot of the times, particularly people that are not into any growth of any kind, particularly people that are not into spiritual growth, that part is never listened to. There is no connection between the outer self and the inner self. And as long as the outer self doesn't completely detach by not believing in anything else but, biology, you're fine. But a lot of people just don't care. They just don't have that pull, and that's okay. And if your mother and father don't have that pull, that's okay. There's nothing to blame. And you can be like, oh, but if they are not doing the work, why do I have to do the work? Well, they're not doing it, but that's okay. What you're working is on that deeper connection, and that deeper connection will get you to a deeper state. And it's all about the state. It's all about the state. Working on long, arduous project with my mom past couple of days. It was more difficult than I expected, especially because we were both doing so much inner work. I feel like I go right back to inner teenager with her on some things, and when I'm triggered by the way she says things judgmentally. Of course, remember, the relationship we have with our parents is tainted by us being their children. So you will always be their child, even if you're 50, 60 and they're 90 or whatever. You're always going to be the child. They're always going to treat you that way. It's just how it is, and you will always be acting as the child. You will always have those rejections, and they will only act that way with you, because they are still your heroes in a way, and somehow you need to grow out of it and realize that they are just people. And for example, there was a really interesting. I've been watching a little bit of Joe Rogan, and I think he's awesome, and he's got quite a lot of interesting guests on his podcast on YouTube, and one of them is Jordan Peterson, who is a psychologist, and is quite interesting what he says. He's a bit harsh sometimes, but he was explaining something like, if you think about your mother and father's friends, and sometimes they are the mother and fathers of some of your friends, right? Particularly when you grow up, sometimes families got together and they became friends, and you see them as their friends, but you don't have this hero relationship with them, and so you just see them as people. And particularly now that you've grown older, and you don't see them as the father of, the mother of, you just see them as someone from an older generation, and they're just normal people with their problems and their flaws and their resources and everything else. And it's interesting to try to separate yourself and be thinking, what, their children, their sons and daughters, they have the same perception that you have of their parents, of your parents. I don't know if that makes sense. It's a bit complex, but your friend will see your parents as you see their parents, so just as normal people. And in a way, for us to be free of that hero complex, it is something that you need to work on, but that connection, that really deep connection, is what brings in all these things that Peace was talking about, of trying to get that is that connection that triggers you, and is the trigger, and is those feelings that come from the deeper sense that are the ones that gives us a sort of like a way, like a rabbit hole for us to dig in, and it's like we have this little spoon, and there is these little lines of deep connection. You then just, with a spoon, you go and try to go deeper with your mind and try to find the level of mind where they originate. Compassion or understanding, compassion is good for yourself, and that, try to have an understanding of these things is quite important. It's amazing how to see how me doing the work first and begging her for years to do her inner work, finally she's on a healing path, but has so much of her own trauma from all forms of abuse due to her parents' alcoholism and abandonment of her at 10 years old. And she was caring for a younger sister for days at the house alone before being taken by a sexually abusive caregiver. She felt she owed, since they provided house and food. She was groomed to think it was what she had to pay for home. That's horrible. It's really interesting to hear these stories of what people have to go through, and sometimes we judge people way too quickly, and without really knowing their stories, you know. It's that is sort of like where that understanding, because the problem with the word compassion, I've been thinking about this a bit, is that when you feel compassion towards someone, it could be that you're almost putting yourself above them. So if you just change that word to having a deep understanding of that person, I think it works slightly better. And of course, it doesn't have to be that way, but compassion can have that sort of feeling. Is like, oh, I have compassion for you. So it's good if you use it on yourself. I have compassion for myself, but with others, I think understanding is a really good word to use. I just really want to understand why they're acting the way they are. What are the stories behind, you know? Knowing her story makes me realize how much better her and my dad made my life. Of course, she doesn't know how to express unconditional love. She's never experienced it before. I understand her so much more. Don't try it, and I don't try to take it personally. Of course, it's really hard. We all just learn what we're given, particularly when we were very young. Understanding is deeper. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a different way of seeing the same thing, you know. And understanding doesn't have that that placing yourself above kind of feel that being compassionate can have. Well, being compassionate particularly, it's sort of like turning compassion into pity. That you know, I pity you, and compassion has that risk. And I think that is what Peace was saying before about spiritual bypass, you know. It's the same sort of thing, using compassion as a spiritual bypass. While if we just aim to understand at all possible different levels, that is much more powerful, because we're actively doing something with our mind. We are aiming to understand deeply the other person. And again, just concentrate on the people near you. Don't waste time with your boss, with the coworker that is an asshole, or you know, just don't waste any time with those. It's I think that was a great advice I've got from my Tai Chi teacher. Just don't. It's like, don't overreact to those things. You can have a reaction, like a normal reaction, when someone treats you badly that is not part of your connections. It's normal, but if you let it come deep in you, then you're in trouble. So it's much better to just, you have your external reaction and just let it be and focus on your inner relationships. I have a question. Very good. I just shared the live with my two sisters. I have the fear of sharing this because of sharing the deep work we do. Also, it's easier to share certain things with strangers. What are your thoughts on that? What is the fear based on? What happens if they come through and they're here? What are you afraid of? It's interesting, because if you don't share it if you share it with strangers, there's no judgment, right? Particularly if you're opening up, and I love the fact that, you know, here we are all like, you know who I am because you see me and you know my name and last name, but I don't know who you are. So you're able, with just your first name or your nickname, you're able to anonymously speak and be open. But of course, if you invite your deeper connection in, then all of a sudden your work goes 2.0. You now have to work more. It's tricky. But if you do that, you're putting more pressure on yourself, which means that you can achieve more growth. The more pressure, the more growth. It usually works that way. And I said this story before. One of the teachers that are part of the Nine Clouds studio is Abdullah, and he had a business which was successful, and he had a very bad employee, and like really bad. And he decided at some point that he was not he would needed more pressure for his own growth. So he completely crashed the company on purpose and then went to work for his worst employee for a year. And it was complete hell. And after a year, he quit. It was like, okay, that's enough. But just to show you like how some people that they seek that pressure, because that pressure is fuel. It's like fuel. It's like fuel for internal growth. Self-flagellation, in a way. Well, he's a Sufi, and Sufis are quite famous for that kind of stuff. He also did a lot of fasting. I mean, he was quite extreme. And but yeah, there are different ways of adding pressure to yourself. That is a bit of a violent one. I don't particularly recommend it, but it's just to show how these mystics, these people, they try to find that pressure. I would recommend sharing. I shared Insight Time with my mom, and it has helped her so much. I think saying this is a safe space for us to express ourselves without fear of judgment. Yeah, I think that is great about this network. That's for sure. Maybe say I'm afraid to share this with you because I open up a lot, but I'm vulnerable and fragile. Please only come if you're open and non-judgmental. Yeah, that's a very good way to do it. That's a very, very good way to do it. So we only have about 15 minutes of the 2 hours of this stream. Again, so much gratitude from me to you for all the support. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for being here. Do you have any questions, any request, anything you would like from me in the next 15 minutes? If you want to hear any songs, if you want to hear like some piano or whatever, you're very welcome, Linda. Very welcome. Yes. By the way, that was, as I said before, the quotes on pieces. You want to hear pieces? Yes, of course. Piece one species. Let's do that. Okay. Let me give you back this one. And let's find pieces here. Just bear with me as I find it. Here it is. Okay. Let's do pieces. That needs to come off. Now that works. There's a lesson here. I have been down this road before. I thought I had it this time. Have I missed something? Am I blind? I must be playing the same old game. 'cause it always ends the same way, with the pressure in the chest and the shattering sound. How can something so wrong feel right? How much was it yours? How much was mine? Does it even matter at all? As all is left is pieces. 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 There are stones I don't want to throw, gingerly walking in between scattered fragments of life and the vision of us, torn between the hurt and the sense of being free to start once again with someone more aligned. One part of me screams, let's ride. The other one holds by twisting inside. The hollow burns, the hollow burns, as all is left is pieces. All is left is pieces. Is left is pieces. All is left is pieces. The hollow burns, the hollow burns. Does it even matter at all? The hollow burns, the hollow burns. Does it even matter? The hollow burns, the hollow burns. Does it even matter at all? The hollow burns, the hollow burns, when all is left is pieces. All is left is pieces. Is all in pieces. All is pieces. So that was Pieces. Thank you for the donation, Peace. Really appreciate it. So, yes, I'm going to be back live on Saturday. You're very welcome. Thank you, Jonna. I'm going to be back here on Saturday, and I'm glad it's more accessible 5:30 a.m. It's completely non-accessible to me. But yeah, it's great. It's great, yes. So I am starting but 2 hours ago. So is 7:30 here in Europe, 8:30 in the UK. And what time is it in the East and the West? And I think it's 5:30 there in Melbourne. And it's more accessible for California as well, because before I was streaming a bit too early for Cali, but now California can access as well, which is really cool. So Saturday is going to be the day for a while. It's going to be mostly one live a week and then stuff on YouTube. So again, please do go and subscribe. 13:30 East. Yes, it's a brunch, so after lunch time. And even if you're working, well, on Saturday you don't work, so that works quite well as well. You're very welcome, Faina. Thank you. Moved by the songs. Very good. Glad you're here too. Go find them on YouTube and listen to them so that if there's any in particular that connects with you, you listen to them over and over, and they give you that remembrance, that constant pull. Be like, I am working on myself. I'm working on this. And that gives you more chances to be consistent in your work. And of course, this is complementary to any work you do. If you're doing mindfulness or you're doing other types of meditation, just use the songs to remind you to have moments of practice of yourself. That is what they're there for. I think they have a bit more in them, but it's, even if they were able to remind you, I think that would be great. 12:24 Pacific. Very good. 1:24 Mountain. Yes, perfect. Epic violin ending. Yes. It's so powerful. Hi, Sun. Thank you for the little heart. It's great to see so many new people as well. That's why I changed the time as well, because I really wanted to see a few more new people. And I'm sorry for all the like all the old soul branchers. You have to change your times, but I think it's worth it. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you guys. As I said, I have started doing star songs as well. So if you do want a star song, there is a code called YouTube. So if you go on my website, which is soulbranch.tv, and you do want to purchase a star song, which is all the piano pieces that are below the quotes videos, you can use YouTube and you get 50% off. Songs are quite historical. I believe so too, Annie. They're really powerful, and I'm working to try to get them out as much as possible, because I think they helped a lot of people. I remember during the pandemic, like Annie said before, I believe what we did here helped a lot of people. And I remember I had you play the French horn for a living, son. I love that. I would love that. I would love to have that in one of my songs. I would love to have that. Do drop me a note. Drop me a line. Maybe we'll get a French horn solo on one of the songs, or you could do the whole quartet. Very happy we found you, Evie. Thank you. Definitely return. Please do next Saturday. Songs are magical to me, and the making of the songs, I think, is even more magical. You'll see. Not next week, because next week we're going on grief. Well, we are making actually the song, so there is writing next week, and it's so powerful. So don't miss that, and it's a really, really powerful work. Thank you, Annie. Yes, the songs are really lovely. I really like them. I was thinking about this as I was listening to them while I was singing them, and I was like, there's a lot of my dad, because he did the strings arrangements, and they're so good. They're just so good. I love them. I really like to sing them as well, and I love the little interludes in between to do the voiceovers and stuff. I agree. Yes, the writing of the songs is magical. Helped me with my singing and songwriting so much. Very good. Very, very good. I'm really happy. Very good. I'm glad. I sometimes save some of the comments, and I saved one from a doctor. I don't know if she comes around, but she left a message saying, I had someone here in ICU that was with a lot of grief, and she heard your segment about grief, and she felt much better. So she was like, oh, that was, I think, one of the best feeling moments of my streaming career. It was really good. Just found this app, so I just found these lives. I've never heard you play. Already know they're amazing. Thank you, son. Thank you so much. Yes, if you want to know more about the songs, go on the YouTube. They're all there, and you can have an idea. The question above, which one? Let me see if I missed some. Grief writing and songs help you too. Very good. Yes, I do. Oh, you're talking about the. I have some of yours saved, please. I have a list. I put them together at the comments. So, I do have some of yours. Yes, grief writing is really powerful. Really powerful. And the 5 phases of grief that we do is really powerful. And this song in particular, I think it has a lot in. Spamming the hearts, love it. Spam away. Actually, this is really good. We just got 200 meditators, which is awesome. We haven't been to 200 for a while now, so it is great. I think it's been a great session. And thank you for spamming the gratitude. It really helps. How to pick up and start playing when we've been away from playing instruments for a while. Yeah, it's hard. I try to do that with the guitar, and then my fingers start to bleed. Would you do TikTok? I thought about it. I don't think I've been brave enough to do TikTok. Yeah, it's like, for me, even doing YouTube for me is quite it's quite a struggle, because what someone said before is that Insight Timer feels quite safe, and YouTube, and TikTok is even worse. So, but I'm doing YouTube, and maybe I'll get into TikTok as well at some point. Do some shorts, maybe do some shorts and put them on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm trying to get to grips with making a song, a video a day, and once I get that, I'll start working on the shorts as well. Something that helps me when I've been away from an instrument but want to start playing is to just think about all the success you could be doing while playing that instrument. It's really true. Very cool, son. You have inspired to songwrite and sing so much. Very cool. Thank you. Really appreciate it. It is a different flexibility and more reach out, very vulnerable to be on there. Yeah, exactly. Understand that Insight Timer feels really safe. Exactly. YouTube and TikTok attract different group of people. Might just need to keep that in mind on editing the content. That's right. That is the problem, I guess, and that's why I do the lives there as well, but it's more for the content, to give you content to be able to work on and to listen to the songs and to the journeys and create that hero group that we were talking about before. Thank you, son. I hope to see you again. Next Saturday, we're going to be working on grief. And the song is about turning grief into love. And it's a really powerful one. So do come along. It starts 2 hours ago. There's all the different times that piece said before. Those times. So 7 in Europe, 7:30 in Europe, 8:30 UK, and 1:30 Eastern. Was it 1:30 Eastern? And then all the Pacific, California, and 5:30 in the morning in Australia. Grace Yoga, yes. Very cool. No way for something deep on TikTok. But yeah, that's true. It builds up. Oh, I do. Yes, I do. I do put a lot of pressure on myself. That's for sure. All right, lovely people. It's been 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's been amazing to see you here in the new year. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for helping me with YouTube as well. If you haven't done yet, do subscribe, because today's session is going to be split in 6 videos that are coming this week. And then I will also post this journey we've done today. So it's time for me to say goodbye. So if it's morning, have a wonderful morning. If it's afternoon, have a fantastic afternoon. If it's evening, have a great evening. And if it's night,